Welcome to Whispers of the Web, where the hidden gems of the web come to life. Join us as we unravel the most fascinating tales, secrets, and discussions from across the web. Every whisper has a story. If you enjoy our journey through the whispers of the web, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the intrigue. Story number 1. Am I the a-hole for telling my brother's girlfriend that he had a vasectomy when she was talking about their plans to settle down and have a family? My brother, Mark 40, won the lottery when he was 20. It was $1,000 a week for life. He was young and wanted to travel. He dropped out of school and has spent his entire adulthood basically seeing the world. He comes home to visit every few years and we FaceTime with him when he is near a signal. He doesn't travel first class or stay in expensive resorts, so he has actually built up some nice savings. He came home with a girlfriend, Haley, 28, this year. They met when they got stuck in South America during the pandemic. She has been traveling since she graduated from university, and she works out of a laptop. I, female 54, live in the same city where I was born. I love it here. I love being close to my parents, and my grandchildren, and most of my siblings. Mark hated being the youngest of 8, and always swore he would not have kids. Our parents were older when they had him and they didn't have the energy for him, truth be told. Mark came home when he was 30 and told us all that he had had a vasectomy and that he would not be contributing to the world population. Haley is a pretty young thing, and she is also intelligent and sweet. I can understand why anyone would fall in love with her. We were having a family barbecue to celebrate Mark being in town. There were maybe 30 people in my parents' yard and house. I was talking to Haley about her future plans now that the world opened up again. She said that she was ready to settle down and start a family. I asked if they were planning on adopting from one of the countries that they had traveled to or if they would try in North America. She said they had talked about it and would be having at least one child of their own. This may be where I screwed up. I asked where Mark got his vasectomy reversed or if they were having in vitro fertilization. I know they can harvest sperm from a testicle even after a vasectomy. She went very quiet and went over to Mark. They spoke and they left. Mark called me later that night to scream at me for ruining his life. He hadn't told her, and he was planning on just continuing to travel, and maybe adopt if they decided on it. He said I shared private medical information and that he never wanted to see me again. I apologized over and over. I seriously had no way of knowing that he was planning a future with this girl without telling her a pretty big piece of the puzzle might be missing. I feel bad for him, but I think he should have told her. Story number 2. Am I the a-hole for breaking up with my girlfriend after she rejected my proposal twice? Sierra and I have been dating for 4 years. I absolutely love her and felt like she was my soulmate. I knew I wanted to propose 2 years into dating, but decided to wait 1 more year so that I could get in a better situation financially. Last year I proposed. It was a private proposal on the beach where we went on our first date. She looked at me and said, "I want to marry you, but not right now." She said she wasn't in the right space personally to get engaged and to give her some time. That stung, but I was okay with it. After all, I put off proposing so I can be in a good position. It's only fair I give her the chance. It's been a year since then and I decided to propose again. This time I asked our friends to help me set it up because I wanted to do something nicer. We orchestrated a nice dinner and a proposal in front of a nice fountain in the city's botanical garden. Everything was ready. Dinner went great, and we went to the fountain. She saw the roses and everything, and then I got down on one knee and asked her to marry me. She teared up and told me, "Not just yet." This stung really bad. I knew I wanted her in my life forever, but this is the second time she turned me down. I asked her why, and she told me the same thing as last year. I asked her if someone was holding her back, maybe family or friend, and she just said, "I just want to make sure that this will work." This hurt me more than the 2 rejections. I told her if after 4 years she isn't sure, then what the heck will make her sure? She asked me to give her time and I told her no. I told her that I'm not gonna keep wasting my time and love if she's gonna keep saying no. I told her that I can't do this anymore. She began begging me not to leave and said, "Fine, I'll marry you, just please don't go." That made me mad, but I didn't say anything. I left. My phone has been blowing up with some of our friends, her parents, and her telling me that I'm an a-hole for throwing away a 4-year relationship because she said no, and that I was being a big baby. She just needs some time. The other half of our friends aren't on my side, but they're not on hers either. I don't think I'm an a-hole for this. Did I overreact? Am I an a-hole? If so, how much more time am I supposed to give her? Edit. We are both 29 years old. Edit 2. The second proposal wasn't done in front of my friends. They just helped me plan it and stuff. It was just her and I. Edit 3. We had discussed marriage shortly before I proposed the first time. She was into it, and even told me that she couldn't see herself with anyone else. She seemed eager about the idea of marriage, which is why I was shocked the first time, and then angry the second time. Story number 3. Would I be the a-hole if I broke up with my girlfriend for humiliating me? Hi all, throwaway because both she and I lurk Reddit. I, 23 male, have been with C, 23 female, for 4 years. We got together during our freshman year of college. We became very close and we both held similar beliefs and wanted similar things out of life. We moved in with each other and grew really close, almost inseparable, during the pandemic. I wanted to marry this woman, until last night. C has been under more stress from work and family during the last few months. Her dad has cancer, and it hasn't been easy on her. She's been drinking more and more, and while I don't mind her drinking, it's how she gets when she's drunk is where I begin to have issues. She has a tendency to get pretty mean and say some awful things, talking about my appearance, or how small my member is. She makes me feel like I'm not enough for her sexually or emotionally. She is almost always apologetic the next morning, and will spend the next few days after that trying to fix things, but will turn around and do it again when she drinks. It really came to a head last night when I took her and her friend out to a local bar that's popular. I volunteered to be their designated driver for the night. She's driven drunk before and I didn't want her to make that choice again. I told her that I didn't want her to drink too much tonight, and she agreed that she wouldn't. The bar was packed when we got there, so we all went and sat at the bar and ordered some food and drinks. They were enjoying themselves and I watched the game while they drank and enjoyed themselves. I got up and went to the bathroom, and when I came back, I noticed my girlfriend was getting loud and her friend screamed, "Cock sleeve," while laughing. She then said, as I walked up and was in earshot, that her ex was the biggest she had and she missed it. I pretended not to hear it, because I knew she was getting drunk. I touched her back and sat down at the bar again, before the guy sitting at the table grabs both our attention and asks us if I was the cock sleeve guy, and I immediately felt like I was gonna be sick. These guys are laughing at me and I asked C if she was serious. She kept laughing. So I just grabbed my keys and walked out. I left both her and her friend there at the bar and I drove home. I immediately packed up my essential stuff and I went to stay with a close friend for a few days. I didn't get any texts from C until about an hour after I left them there, asking where I was. I then got a bunch of missed calls and texts that weren't anything but angry. I answered one call and she was still slurring her words and I heard she was in the bar still, so I hung up and turned off my ringer. I woke up to a stream of apology texts and more missed phone calls. She apologized and said she screwed up and was wondering when I was coming home, that I satisfy her, and that I'm more than enough for her, that she'll make this right if I come home. I'm just done. I feel humiliated and embarrassed. Her and I had what I thought was a good sexual relationship. We did foreplay and used toys, but I've never once not gone out of my way to pleasure her or get her off. I'm not the biggest guy down there, so yeah, I use a sleeve to help her get off too. I just didn't think she would use that against me like that. I don't want to go back home. I love her, but I feel really humiliated and like she doesn't respect me as a man or partner. Would I be the a-hole if I broke up with her over this? She's been a perfect partner otherwise. I just feel like she didn't respect me at all, and after what she said about her ex, I can't help but suspect things. Edit 1. I'm going to text C back and tell her that I'll be there tomorrow to talk and get the rest of my things. My supportive friend said I don't have to worry about a place to stay for right now. She's always been one of my closest friends, so it feels good to have some support right now. Thank you everyone for your advice. I plan on ending things with C. My friend and her brother are going to go as well to make sure things don't go crazy. I don't know what C might do at this point. Story number 4. Am I the a-hole for ending things after he refused to buy me tampons? I, 27 female, had Friday night date plans with my 28 male boyfriend. There were a few things I needed to do before driving the 35 minutes to his place to have our dinner and movie. I had just got off of work and needed to shower, care for my pet, pack for the night, and clean a bit before heading out. Right before my shift ended, I got my period. Yay! And with that came super bad cramps, back pain, headache, and all the fun period feelings that I didn't expect. And so I planned to head to a nearby store the closer I got to his place to grab tampons and some period pads. Right before I showered, I get an ETA call from him. I tell him the time he should expect me and gave him a heads up that I'm not feeling too well. He offers sympathy, and then asks if there's anything he can do to help me. I hesitate before I answer, because in the past he's asked, and LV said, and nothing came of it. I decided to just give it a shot and ask if he could run to the store since it's about a 2-minute drive from his place to grab the items for me. I said I can send you the exact products I need, which is about just 3, and also Venmo him. He chuckles and said, "Yeah, no, we can just go together to grab those things." I'm shocked and state, "That would just be a waste. I'll just run there myself." Sometime later I finish my tasks, run to the store, grab my period products, and head to his place. It's once we're sitting down later that I asked him, why didn't he want to grab the items for me after he asked if he could help me? He answers, "I'm not going to embarrass myself. We could have grabbed it together. Besides, I didn't want to get up. I was in the middle of a game." After hearing this, I ended things and left. Edit. It was amazing to read through all of your stories, advice, and comments. There are a lot of amazing husbands, dads, brothers, wives, sisters, and friends out there in the comments that have truly made me look at all of this in a different light. Really good light. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. To those in the comments who are just being straight up rude, I will not go back and forth with you. There is a difference between disagreeing and straight up just disrespecting. This post should not rile anyone up to the point where you're throwing cuss words and misogyny around. I'll leave you with this. We all want and crave different things, and that is okay. Don't let this post agitate you because you disagree. Story number 5. Am I the a-hole for leaving in the middle of a date? I, 33 male, went on a date last night with a gal I had briefly been talking to. She was late for the date, which is fine, crap happens. I asked her if everything was okay, and she replied that she had just finished up filming and that's why she was late. I asked her what sort of filming because I love films. She gave me this obnoxious giggle and told me to subscribe to her OnlyFans if I wanted to see. I was a bit appalled. She went on to tell me how it was AMMF video, male, male, female, and then proceeded to start asking my monthly income. I excused myself to the bathroom, paid the tab for what was ordered, told them anything else she ordered is on her dime. Then I left. She messaged me later freaking out about me leaving and about how she really likes me. I just blocked her number. I don't feel a need to explain myself. It was a first date, I'm not into that, and she can obviously get someone else. Am I the a-hole? Thank you for joining us for today's journey through the whispers of the web. Share your thoughts and suggestions for our next adventure. If you're not yet a part of our whispering community, click the subscribe button and click the bell for notifications to never miss out on another story. Join us next time as we uncover another enthralling tale from the web. Until our next whisper.